My only dedicated shop space is in my basement, and I only have a few hundred square feet to work in. And I use Festool products to keep it organized and keep things mobile. Here's a small grouping of products that I use on mobile bases and on top of my dust extractor. In the stack on the left on the bottom, I have my track saw. It's a TS75. I like it very much. And then I have another larger sustainer that has some of these plastic organizer boxes in it. Each of them is individual and can be pulled out as needed. Um, Keep some various bolts in one. They're very decent quality plastic, and they can hold a lot of weight, as you can see here. Next one, I just keep some assorted screws, just some odds and ends in there, some small finish nails, and then in another one of the red ones, I keep all of my electrical equipment. Very nice to be able to just pull that out and carry it wherever I need to go. All the compartments stay separated very nicely. I have a CIS container with an MFT style top on it. I like that a lot for clamping stuff too. Inside it, I keep my quick clamps and some of my measuring stuff. Not much else in there, just things I generally use together. In the next stack, I have a number of sortainers and my drill and driver selection. In the bottom sortainer, I have on the lowest row a whole bunch of assorted screws, and then in the upper row, in the next row, I have a few various fasteners, some tapcons, and some other screws, as well as my picture hanging stuff. Then one higher, I have some extra space there and some anchors for concrete. And in the upper sustainer on the bottom, I have one with a deep drawer where I just keep some driver sets that I can grab as needed, and some auger bits for drilling larger holes. These are relatively new. I haven't used them a great deal. They seem to cut well, but take an awful lot of power to drive with the threaded screw to follow. The next row, I've got just some brad point bits, some nut drivers, and some various other items. One other level, I've got a countersink set and some various pens, pencils, extra lead, and whatnot. And then I've got a drawer with some combination squares in it, some extra lead. Still trying to get all this organized. It's not quite done yet. Then I've got my Festool mandrels with the high-speed steel twist bits in it and some hex drivers. And then I've got a sustainer which has all these neat little compartments with screws in it. It's great. You can shake it any which way, this way and that way, and they don't spill. Then I've got my installer set. This is the top row. I've got a real nice set of brad point bits and some lengthy driver bits. This is the lower level. Got some odds and ends in there, some thread lock and extra bits. And then my CXS stays on top. I use this for the vast majority of things I do. Do have other drills, but that gets the most use. Then on top of my CT, I have another little stack of stuff that goes along generally with that. In the lowest sustainer, I've got the compact cleaning set and a couple other attachments I've added, but this is great just for hauling around. It's real light. And then the upper one, I've got a workshop cleaning set. The floor sweep on this is just fantastic. It works great for picking stuff up. And I've got a toolbox, just some odds and ends in there. Still trying to get everything organized, like I said, but I like having the ability just to throw stuff in there. And then I've got one of the tool boxes with some, I don't know what you call them, gull wing doors or whatever, that have some organization in it. Still don't have that filled up. I've added a couple more things since I took this picture, but still have plenty of room in there and still trying to figure out what to do with that. Probably going to use it as a grab and go type thing. And then to store other sustainers, I've made these CIS port like things. with pull-out shelves. I made them way too deep. I guess one of the benefits of that is I can store stuff behind it, but I wish I had done more research and made them not as deep. On the bottom level on the left, I've got my Rotex 125 and then 18 volt saw on the right. Here I've got my ETS 125 and then drill and a impact driver on the right. Again, I made these way too long. You can see the amount of space that's back there, but depending upon what's there, I've got various stuff stored behind it. And then I've got my sandpaper sustainer for the ETS 125 and the RL 125, and on the right a multi-tool. Here's another example of, I've got all the power cords for various Festool tools, wrapped up and stored behind one in case I ever need one in a pinch. Then I've got my jigsaw accessory base. I haven't used that much, but I like having it. And then on the right, I've got my RO90. Above that, I've got my Carvex jigsaw, and on the right, I've got my sandpaper for my RO90. This is how it went together. I've just got some drawer slides and some plywood in between them, and it's I don't know if you can see in there, but I just made kind of a frame for it. I didn't. There's not full panels. And then these are the larger sustainers. Most of these are by Thanos, but I like these. You can store a lot of stuff in them. In the bottom one, I've just got some various plumbing tools, wrenches and stuff like that. It's quite heavy, and those things can actually hold much more weight than you'd think. And then I've got some routers. I've got a handheld router and a trim router there that I use rather sparingly, but I still like having them. And I've got another larger one that I just have my 18 volt stuff thrown into. I like being able just to grab this whole thing and go for light jobs. And in there I've got some Torx bits, some Phillips, some slotted screwdrivers, as well as my center punch. And then I've got my reciprocating saw and angle grinder and another one, along with the various blades and discs. Then I've got another 18 volt hammer drill and an impact driver. Those kits, hard to pass up sometimes. This is the latest edition. I got a Capex recently and put together this Craig modular workbench, and we'll be adding pullouts for that, and I'm going to move some of the sustainers and sortainers into it and get it off of those tall stacks. There's all the drawer slides for it. Here's what I've done in the past. You can see built a little workbench on wheels. So I got all my stuff on wheels, and it really helps out with having such a small space.